Welcome back to Tobago Thursdays on Now. Since 2006, Frolic Central has been a household name for Tobago Mas, and it's time for a new chapter. Avian Gordon, the founder of Frolic Central, joins us this morning for a conversation. Good morning, Avian.
Good morning, and thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you with us on the show this morning. Thank you so much for getting up a little bit earlier, I would assume, than usual, for what is definitely going to be a game-changing conversation for Tobago. So let's talk
Yes.
about your decision to retire from Tobago Mas. What brought this change?
I think what happened, just how I start mass, I think it's just how they take me out. That vibe just came at the spur of the moment, and I just decided, no, with all what taking place, I think I had enough. No, I tried to take part for October Carnival, and I think that wasn't the avenue that I would have been able to portray the costume because October is more like, bands come together and, mass on the road, but it didn't have any avenue for portrayal. So I decided to take part in February. But with February, I think they didn't have anything in stone as to how they were taking, February forward. And I attended one of the meetings and I didn't like some stuff that they were saying. So I just take a seat just back, look to see, where things going from there. And then that day I just decided, nah, I think I had enough. Time to move on.
Well, that's definitely understandable given the circumstances. But to be fair, you're not taking an entire seat back because you're still going to be working on some projects. What projects are you going to be working on?
Oh, Oh, definitely. Well, this carnival, the Scarborough RC School gave me a call, so I helping them prepare for the kiddies mass on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, traditional mass, and doing the wire work for showing Tie Dye City. So yeah, I'm still in it. Just that I'm not bringing a band.
Now, as you mentioned, doing wire work, if I'm not mistaken, you are the wirebender, female wirebender in Tobago. Is that correct?
Yes, I.
And how is the demand when it comes to carnival, given that you are the only one?
Could you repeat that for me?
What is the demand like for you, given that you are the wirebender for Tobago Mas? And of course, now we have two carnivals, National Carnival and Tobago
Um,
Carnival.
Tobago Carnival. Well, I right now I'm trying to work with the kids. You see, if we divert February Carnival to the kids, I really would like to focus on preparing for the kids per se. And usually when there's a chief secretary, not chief secretary, interdepartment competition, usually I do wire work for those events. If it have heritage and anybody want work done, those kind of events is where I would do wire work with.
Oh, wonderful. Now, you've been in the industry for a very long time, and you did just touch briefly on National Carnival and Tobago Carnival as well. How do you think Mars should be handled in Tobago in terms of October versus our National Carnival?
Okay, October. Let me just go back a little. Tobago have a different culture with mass, and especially with like people playing mass, right? Most of the bands, okay, they stem from their grandparents, their parents from yesteryear, right? So where October is concerned, October kind of changed that point where it's like, you're making masks for sales other than for National Carnival is usually a passion. The creatives there to really, bring out something, the historical part of it. So where February is concerned, I think they should divert February to focusing on kids and traditional mass and leave October for the pretty mass or the kings and queens competition should take part in October and, maybe separate the juniors from the seniors.
Interesting. Thank you for that perspective. Tell me, how do you feel about the evolution of Mars itself in Tobago, as you just mentioned, that shift?
Mass has evolved, yes, but the creatives kind of in a corner that some of us need some assistance in order to get in to the October product because October kind of welcomes a lot of young designers that taking part in the sections, having a section within a band. But where the creatives are concerned, some of them need to kind of get a section within some of these bands and have a little more assistance from the designers in Trinidad, even the wire benders, if they could come and help, pay up and collaborate with bands in Trinidad in order to make the product even a better thing. But from where it was to where it's for today, sorry, yeah, it has evolved quite a lot.
Definitely. Now, you've mentioned assistance, you've mentioned collaboration. What else do you think can be done to boost Mas in Tobago?
Focusing on the traditional mass, there's a lot of traditional characters. Tobago isn't just subjected to one carnival character. And I kind of focusing on national a lot because that's where I've been for the 18 years. So focusing on the traditional part of Tobago during the February time and keep February Carnival more as a learning experience, even if visited because it's Carnival in Tobago is very much laid back. So they could give it an experience where you could come and learn certain craft, visit the schools and see what they're doing because I think a lot of schools need to start back into the mass production of carnival costumes for kids and make it a little business within the school so that the school could, make something for themselves.
Brilliant suggestions there in conversation, Avi, and thank you so much. So tell us, we're saying no more Frolic Central for Tobago Mas. What do you think it would take to bring Frolic Central back to the streets?
Actually, it's still have Frolic Central Limited, which is the name of a business. Frolic Central Mass Pan is just a branch under. So Frolic Central Limited is Mass and more. So I ain't coming out with Mass. But if I'm to come back, I'm coming back in October because that is where the place to be. It's time I start thinking about making Mass some money other than pleasure. Right? So I'm trying to see if I could get a section out of one of the existing bands and work from there, even if they want me to do a king and queen for the road. So yeah, that is where my
Beautiful.
heart is right now. And I have another thing. For this year, the costumes that I was doing for October Carnival, I have in a section in 3 states. In order to portray my stuff that I had from last year, instead of having them packed up in my mask, I'm looking all pretty.
Wonderful. Well, it sounds like there is definitely a bright future ahead for Frolic Central, not just in this upcoming carnival, but the carnivals to come. Avi and Gordon, thank you so much for joining us this morning. It has been an absolute pleasure. Looking forward to having you back on the show again soon.
Yes, and thanks for having me.